a little bit of a hiatus, just gone for a week. But yeah, back to the Sunday live stream. In the usual fashion, of course, I'm going to have to spam this to try and get a few people in the live chat, or to at least let them know that we're back on. So I'm just going to make sure that I am actually live, and then I will do the usual spamming. So if you want to forward it on by about a few minutes, then yeah, I probably recommend doing that. Now let's just see if I am indeed live. Yep, it would appear like I am live, which is good. So I can go like that one. And I can put it on here. I'm live. I'm a couple of minutes early as well, so it's probably a bit of a surprise. I'm normally quite late. Hi, Mikey. Thanks for joining, mate. Feel free to jump on in and say hello. I think that sounds pretty nice. Post on. How are you, Mikey? Sorry, how are you, mate? I'm in a world of my own just for a moment there. Just posting this one. Oh, the internet's very slow. There we go. Typical Australian internet speeds. Patrick, hi Chris, how are you today? I'm very good, mate. How are you? It's a nice day here. It's overcast, so it's been quite nice. How are you, mate? How's the Germans coming along? There we go. So I've posted it there, posted it on the Facebook page. Let me just accept this guy. He seems like he's not a bot. And we'll publish that one. All right, cool. So I've done all the admin stuff. I think that'll do. I mean, I can't think of anywhere else to put it on. Maybe I'll put it on Discord, for the Discord chums that are on there. Let's see if I open Discord. Discord's been a little bit quiet the last few days. I haven't really been saying too much. The other day, for those that aren't on the Discord, I think I missed like 74 messages. You guys were on something that night. I don't know what you guys were going on about. Well, I do, but there was a lot of back and forth. It was really interesting, actually. All right, let's go here. Put it in here. I'm live. Come and say hello, lads. I don't think we've got any ladies on here yet, so lads will do just fine. All right, that's enough of that. Good. I'm right now research for a Normandy army. For Germans, Axis or Allies in Normandy, mate? And whilst we wait for people to get in the room, I need to not work, but I'm gonna give people a few seconds to come in. So I've got the Winter Germans because we've got a paint set that I need to use these for. So we're back on the Winter Germans again. And Mikey, I saw that I literally just saw on Discord then that you received the 28mm figures you bought off me, the painted ones. See, it's another perk of being on Discord, guys. If you remember. That's just such a subtle plug. I'm terrible. I know. What should we give this guy? So he's a Winter Fallschirmjäger. I reckon an FG42 will do the job quite nicely. I haven't painted the FG42 on the channel yet. Go figure. So we'll give him an FG42. Although he doesn't have a scope. All right. Didn't they have a little scope as well? Some of them? Not all of them. And does it have a bipod? It does have a bipod. Cool. Little Lancer Sport. Hello. What ho, peasants? Yes, you're speaking quite rightly there, mate. It's a baddie army or SS troop. So SS troops from Patrick for Normandy. So you're going with who was the Panther commander? Oh God, why is it on the tip of my tongue? Oh God, that's terrible. I forgot who it was now. Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. Baltazar says, hello or good day, Baltazar. Thanks for joining, mate. Hugh Jans, I think, typing out. So I want to say thank you, mate, for introducing me to the 176 20mm scale. Absolutely great scale for me that I'd never considered before. Oh, that's awesome, mate. I'm really glad that you've found it. What are you playing, or what models have you got? Have you got AB stuff, or are you going with the like plastics, old toy soldier style stuff? Mikey Spot. So the uncle that was killed in Burma was killed in the admin box. Oh wow, we were not 100% too sure how he died, but his brother-in-law, my great grand, said he was shot by the Japanese and was killed instantly. Oh, mate, that's crazy. Um, yeah, that would have been a horrible experience at admin box as well. But he was part of a successful British venture, probably the first major British success in that period. So, and if that's any consolation, mate, but that's horrible. It's such a shame, but a lot of those young lads gave so much for us today, so we really need to make sure we honor them and live nicely. But yeah, that's a really interesting history. When the region calms down a little bit, because I know Myanmar is just a shit place to be at the minute, but if you could get back out there, like, would you ever consider traveling out there to see the admin box where it all happened and stuff like that? Boltar's put what on workshop currently, guys? So I think that's a question Boltar's asking what's on the workshop to everyone. For me, I've got a 50mm Sherman Firefly, the IC version. So it's got the different hull. This is using my good friend Adam at Dice of War's decals. So we'll get a video out on that soon. So it will be a decal video for the decals, as well as a tutorial for the little Sherman. It's so small. Little Sherman there, Firefly. We've got a load of. I'm just working on some more Rockstrift characters in 28mm. Almost finished Color Sergeant Bourne. So if people know the movie Zulu, he's probably everyone's favorite character. He's not got skin tone on him at the minute, but he's almost done. We got some 20mm AB British, plain British on the workbench at the minute. We got a load of British Airborne painted, and I found a Zulu I painted up probably, I'm going to say 8 years ago, 7 years ago, 8 years ago. And I'm going to post him on my socials to show you where I came from to how I am now when I eventually paint another Zulu. But yeah, I've definitely come a long way. He's not terrible, but he's not good either, really. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up. It's very dark, obviously. But yeah, I think I've literally put one color down and washed him and then called him done, put him on a base and that. But I was happy at the time with him. No, I wasn't, actually, because I sold the Rockstrift set, so that's a lie. I wasn't happy with him. So yeah, sorry, that was a big, that's what I'm up to. God, what have I missed here? Got someone looking into the battalion diary to see if any entries in there. There is some really good books as well. If you can find some books, there is a couple of pages on Facebook where there is some historians on there that know a lot of detail on those sorts of things. So perhaps you might be able to get somebody that might have like some more info on what happened in the battalion for that battalion. But yeah, that's really interesting. What battalion was he in, mate? Hugh Jans has put reliving my childhood with the airfix, but I've branched out to others like AB figures. Like you've put AB Ministry there. It's AB figures. AB Ministry actually sounds better. But yeah, AB figures are perfect. Mike's put my great nan wouldn't buy anything from Japan and would turn the TV off if anything Japanese came on. He was her little brother. 100% will get over there as soon as it cools down. Sounds exactly like my great granddad. So he fought over there. He was in the RAF though. He was more like intelligence, but yeah, he was the same. He just absolutely, he never trusted the Japanese, regardless of how they've changed, and yeah, never had anything good to say about them. Wasn't bitter, as in like being horrible towards them, but he also Yeah, from what I understand, was just didn't want anything to do with them. Bolsos, but we will remember them. Salute. Yeah, exactly. What a lovely, lovely tribute, mate. It's a fascinating history, Mikey. And it's such a forgotten history. I mean, the name really does sum it up nicely. You know, the nickname they gave themselves, but they fought in some major battles that could have changed the tide of the campaign in the Far East. Mike's also part. Love the Anglo-Zulu War stuff you're doing. Thanks a lot, mate. I'm absolutely loving it, and I've been watching Zulu on and off now to get inspiration. Although it's not the best historical reference, but I'm going to paint the characters in their like Zulu uniforms from the movie, and then I'm going to be painting the rest of the more historical ones that I'm getting from Empress, the British. Then I'll paint them in their historical colors. Little Lancers is put. Did you go with the Perry Zulus in the end, mate? I did. I went for the free pack where you get the little. I think he's a prince. Was he a prince? He fought a Islander one. I don't know if that's pronounced correctly, but I thought that'd be pretty cool to get him. And I also got the command pack of the Zulus from there. I've got a ton of Warlord plastic Zulus as well, so I'm going to compare the two and see which one I prefer to paint. So yeah, I did get them though. I had to get that special figure. I get when you know that they're special like that, I get worried that they're going to disappear. So I'm like, oh, it'll be one extra Zulu that looks cool. And I love his like beer belly he's got going on as well. So I definitely wanted to get him. Mikey's replying to Baltazar. Thomas has put, I'm working on a Norman church and graveyard, big terrain pieces for Chain of Command 2. I have a squad of AB, BEF in progress at the moment. I recently finished a ZVAR BF squad and they look good with AB. Yes, I was very impressed. I've got a Zvedstar, I think is how you pronounce it, 2-pounder, and it looks very, very very, very good. I was shocked at how good it was actually. So I'm going to definitely put it on the channel soon, but the channel is going to be so busy over the next couple of weeks. I'm not sure if you can see. I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to tell you guys, but maybe I am. I'm going to do it anyway. We've got the new paint set from, excuse the shorts, sorry, it's terrible, I know. We got the new paint set from Ruben. Hearsay Brush, I think is how you pronounce it. Obviously Mig, so he helped produce this from Ammo. So yeah, I can't wait to test these out. They look the part. His painting is amazing. That's his painting on the front there. So we'll see if they're any good. I'm assuming they will be. So we've got that going on. We've got some special figures coming from Eureka Miniatures that you might have seen if you're in the 28mm game. I'm not going to say anymore because again, I think that might be top secret. So hopefully not too many people will watch this, but they are coming to the channel. So I need to paint those. I've been given a very, not strict, but a bit of a time frame to get them done by. And we're still carrying on with the army paint colors. I've got a load of paintbrushes from Lightwish that I've been asked to test out. So yeah, this one might not be as much of a positive review as my normal ones, but you know what? We'll just have to wait and see how it really is. But yeah, we're testing those out. And the airbrush. Please, somebody tell me how I pronounce this. The Galari, I think, airbrush. We're going to be testing that out on a 20mm stug. So what scheme do you guys want this stug in? Let me know and we'll give it a go with the airbrush. So that's that. So there's a lot happening, a lot of reviewing stuff, testing stuff out. I feel like there's something else I've missed as well. Can't think of what else. There's something else. Oh, and I'm also in the market of getting a new camera. I'm very close to committing, but I still haven't committed yet. But I'm very, very close. I'm just waiting for prices to hopefully come down a touch. So yeah, we'll see. Right, so that's a big spiel of what I'm doing. That's all I can say for now, is what's happening. But if you're not a member yet, you can join for $1 a month. I'm just plugging it now because I'm being a bit of an arsehole. I hate when people do this, but I'm plugging it because you can join for $1 a month, and I think I've got 4 or 5 videos that are already come out. So that's like a month's worth of videos that you guys can watch if you're into it. For $1 a month, I think it's pretty good value, but it's up to you guys. You don't have to do it. You can just wait. I probably would just wait anyway, but I thought I've always tried to keep my prices really low for membership, so I thought if I can do like $1 tier, I think that's pretty fair. So it's up to you guys if you want to do it or not. But I'd recommend it if you want to see some of my stuff a little bit earlier, especially if there's a video you want to see. And then if you want to join the Discord, it's $2 a month. But that's enough of me trying to get money from you guys. I do apologize for that. We will carry on. Firefly is my favorite Sherman. Yes, I would say it is my favorite Sherman too. Probably just because I love the little camo scheme that they paint on the turret. Actually, this one came out really nicely. I need to put a magnet on the bottom of it. But yeah, this is the old resin Sherman IC. So it's got the like different hole. But yeah, it came out pretty nicely. The decals from Dice of War are really, really nice. I highly recommend it. Oh, I can see myself. I can see the Sherman in that screen there. Where am I? I think Perry's win with Zulus, the Warlords are nice, but a bit simplistic. I read also that the like armbands or the like bands on their arms weren't correct for Rockstrift or for the Zulus. I'm not exactly sure if that's right or not, mate. I haven't looked into it at all. I know you're more into it than I am, so perhaps you can correct me on that one. But I don't mind the Warlord ones. But I did read everywhere, everyone was saying the Perry stuff is the most realistic. So we'll give them a go and we'll see what they're like. I might just probably mix and match, do some Warlord as well, just for the sake of it. Mike's put, it's crazy. I worked with a lady whose mum was burnt by the Hiroshima bomb. After the war, she married a RAF man and moved to my town. Such a small world. That's crazy. That is crazy. I'm not sure if you guys have been watching the Kings and Generals Pacific War week by week series, but they're just finishing up now and they're talking about the bombings and stuff. It's just insane, isn't it? I haven't really looked into those nuclear bombs that they use, or atomic bombs, but God, I mean, it needed to be done in a sense, but my God, that's just crazy. Just obliterating an entire town. It's just nuts. Mike is put, oh, those Medbury figures you've done are ace, man. Thank you, mate. I really appreciate it. I love those. I think they're really good. And I was speaking to, I think his name's Andrew. I think it's Andrew at Medbury. And he's saying that they're not finalized that way. So if there is little tweaks that need to be done, they're going to do it. So I think he mentioned something they're going to slightly tweak because he was a bit concerned about the Owen gun being a bit too fat. But then I said I kind of prefer it that way because they're not going to break so easily. There was a few other things that he mentioned. I said the Bren magazine looked a little bit small to my eye, so he said he's going to look at that and potentially tweak it. So that's really good that he's willing to take on people's observations. So if you are in the Kickstarter and you're looking at potentially getting it, but you might have seen something that you're not exactly sure about, then definitely let him know. He seems receptive to the idea of amending some of his figures because they're STLs that he somehow prints as well. I don't know how that works, but sorry, they're STLs, but they're metal, so I don't know how it works, but obviously it does. Thomas put love and war. Ian's put what's up. Hey Ian, thanks for joining, mate. Sorry I left you. You must have been waiting for what, 7 days now for me to come on. You're normally the first one on. Thomas has put what version of Stug? That is a bloody good question, mate. Mardav miniatures. What did I actually buy? Well, I didn't buy actually. What did they send me? It was a Stug of some kind. It's a Stug free, but what is it? Let's have a look. Now you put me on the spot here. I don't know my Stug variants, to be completely honest, or any tank variant, to be frank. All right, so it's not on page 1 to 3. Page 4. It's got to be stuck on here somewhere. No, there's a Char 1B. That was a good vehicle to paint up. Not there. This isn't bad. I'll tell you what, let's just type in Stug. Why am I looking through the page? Let's just type in Stug. So it is a Stug 3G with waffle pattern Zimmerit. There you go. So if you like waffles, that's the pattern that's going to be on there. Don't feel bad. What you share is valuable, and we will have to sell ourselves to live in this matrix. Yeah, exactly. This paintbrush set, honestly, you're not going to be buying it if you're painting constantly and you enjoy painting. You're not going to get it because they're not up to much. But if you're new and you want a really cheap set and a good quality set, then you're going to grab it. They're going to work really well for washing and stuff. You want to do pin washing and that because you're not going to be bothered if you destroy them. So yeah, it's really that would be what I would use them for. But again, whenever I get sent samples, I'm always very hesitant to be too harsh. Not because they've sent me free stuff, just because I'm not good enough to make my own paintbrushes or make my own models and stuff. So I'm always trying to find something that's appealing or that people might like. But yeah, it's just the nature of the game. Mikey's, but the Patreon Discord is amazing. It's such help. It's such great help. So much knowledge in, and the chats are brilliant. Yeah, I agree. I really love the Discord. I never thought it would actually take off as well as it has. It's done. The Discord's a lot more enjoyable than my supporters page on Facebook, and that's just because of me. I just don't. I've neglected it. I really need to do more on the supporters page on Facebook, but my time is just so thin now. It's spread out. You will not believe my channel is relatively small, right? When you compare to other people, I don't know how they do it. I mean, it's still big for what I thought it was going to be, but it is relatively small. But a lot of my time is made up doing this YouTubing, replying to people on social media, emailing companies, replying to companies on email and stuff, and then editing and then creating videos. It's a lot of work. So some things have to be neglected. And unfortunately, that Facebook supporters page has been neglected. But it's such a shame from my perspective because I see that there's a lot of people that use it and enjoy it. So I'm going to try my best to do a bit more on there. But yeah, I'm sorry if I'm not too regular on there. Most of my time is spent on Discord now than it is on Facebook, and even on Discord, I'm not on there for too long. But I'm on there pretty much every day, and most of the time, the guys wait for me to be asleep before they start having all the interesting conversation. Boltzars put Firefly looks good in Hessian tape. They do look very good. I just sold some of the old resin Churchills with their Hessian tape on there as well, and they look very nice. But not Churchills. Oh my god, my brain is not working today. Oh my god, how can I not remember what they're called? I'm gonna figure this. Cromwell's, bloody hell! How could I forget that? Oh my! That's it. Thomas has just said it, just as I said it as well. Cromwell's, yes. How did I forget that? My brain is not working. I'm still trying to think of that Panther Ace, the actual Panther Ace. What was his name from Normandy? Barkman. That's it. All right. So my brain's back to working. Just got to retune the brain here. We'll get it working again. Lula's, but yeah, the Zulus never really wore armbands, just around the leg, certainly not in battle or exceptionally rarely. Okay, so that's good to know. Maybe I could file off the armbands on the Warlord Zulus. I did listen to a podcast today where they said the pre-battle thing the Zulus should do was drink something to vomit into the ground. Yeah, it didn't sound too appealing. I probably won't try and portray that in a diorama. Mike's put Perry's do the best Zulus and Empress do the best British. And that's what I've read. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the metal Brits and the plastic Zulus from Perry. Does anyone know if oh my god, my brain's gone. What's his name? The guy that sculpted the bridge and the Arnhem Hero stuff. Paul Hicks, right? Okay, I'm back. Paul Hicks. Did he sculpt the Zulus as well? Because they didn't get a great write up. I think he sculpted the character pack that Emperors do. Um, but yeah, I'd be interested to know because people didn't give them a great write up the Zulus, so which is interesting. Maybe it was some of his earlier stuff. Thomas, but I agree that thicker resin is stronger. However, there are resin that act more like flexible plastic now. Yeah, and these were metal with thicker Owing, with the Owing guns. So I don't mind it. Honestly, I don't mind it. You can get Aussies from Eureka Miniatures that have the proper looking Owing guns, but from all accounts, they're very, very brittle and very easily broken because they're so thin, the barrels. Ryan's but hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Ryan. Thank you for joining us, mate. Late war versus early war to determine scheme. Okay, that's in terms of the Stug, I imagine there, Tom. He's put Painting Panzers doesn't know all the Panzer variants. I demand a refund. I know I picked a stupid name, didn't I? Late war Stug, a winter Italian scheme would be cool. Winter 43 or 44. I haven't done a winter schemed vehicle yet. I probably won't do it on this one. I think if I'm going to do whitewash, I'm probably going to do it on a plastic one because if I do whitewash, I don't want it to seep into the little tiny resin lines on this model and make it look bad, if you know what I mean. Ryan's put that the Discord is great. Thank you, Ryan. We enjoy having you on there. I see you're back in there after a little bit of a break. I think you're saying you're painting some Warhammer stuff though, or was that somebody else? Tom's put Cromwell, yes, thank you. And then Mike's followed that with Paul Hicks. So I did get there eventually, guys. Mira's given me a thumbs up. Thanks, Mira. Thank you. Welcome to the stream. Mike has put he did sculpt the Zulus. Okay, so there we go. So perhaps they were an earlier sculpt for Paul. And I'm a big fan of Paul Hicks, but agree those were not his strongest. Still, I've got about 100 of them. I haven't got them. I've just read the some of the reviews, people saying that they weren't great. So I wasn't sure if it was Paul Hicks's work, because I mean, God forbid Paul Hicks doesn't do something amazing. But yeah, that's interesting. I do like the character pack though. I think it's got a witch doctor, a guy with a red coat on, or Zulu with a red coat on, shooting a musket. Now here's one for you guys as well. I've been doing I've been listening to a lot of podcasts about the Anglo-Zulu War just to get me into it, and it got me thinking. So the Brits have a detached, or have Gurkhas, right, in their army. From all accounts, the British actually rated the Zulus as fierce warriors, or some of them at least, anyway. And the fact that they could run over, from Yaoundé, their capital, to battle in like a day or two, to fight and then have a fight and then go back home. I wonder why the British didn't try and do the same as what they did with the Gurkhas and have like a regiment or whatever they've got, do the same sort of thing with the Zulus. Because if they rated them as really tough warriors, I wonder why they didn't try and give them their own group within the British Army. I don't know. It's just something that came to mind when I was listening to these podcasts. Perhaps it's a question for some of the historians that I listen to. I have no idea why I brought that up as well, so I do apologize. Ryan's put, I'm going to start Napoleonic soon after the Warhammer. Okay, that's awesome. It's the Napoleonics on the Discord seem to be getting a lot of love as well, so maybe I should start doing some Napoleonics too. Hi from the Military Heritage Museum. We love your work. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. That's a really, really nice comment. Thank you. You have to tell us all about the Military Heritage Museum. I've just Googled it now. I can see you're in Florida, 4.8 stars, so it must be bloody good. I mean, look, if I'm ever back in Florida, I've been to Florida four or five times now. I will definitely come out and say hello. Um, but yeah, that's really cool. Thank you. Um, Thomas, but I see buildings on your table. Are you painting those? Yes. So we've got Rockstrift. I've pretty much assembled it. So I've owned the Rockstrift set from Warlord Games 3 times. This is the 4th time. All of the 3 times I've bought it, and this is within the years where I wasn't painting, or I was paying people to paint for me, and I've sold it. And this last time, I had to get one of my supporters, a Canadian, Aussie Canadian, a really good bloke, to he volunteered to pick me up a set from a Canadian company and bring it back. I paid for it, obviously. Um, and yeah, so I've actually committed. This is the furthest I've ever got. I've never assembled anything in the set or anything like that. I've actually started painting the figures. I've assembled the buildings. So it's actually full steam ahead. I'm actually going through with it and I'm really enjoying it at the moment. It's going to be a project, I think, when my third son arrives, that I'm going to just do in the downtime, because I'm planning to have a whole bunch of videos ready to go. So I've got a good few weeks off. When he's asleep, I can do this, and then all of my attention will be with my newborn and obviously my son as well. Mike's put the Zulu Ranger about 15 years old now. Oh, right, that explains it. So, um, yeah, maybe he will redo it, right? Ryan's put mud pies. Thomas put, wasn't the Zulu war low priority based on other events the Crown was dealing with? Yeah, they didn't want to get into war with the Zulus. That was the last thing they wanted to do. Well, the British government. We got to remember the British government didn't want to get involved in a lot of wars in the Victorian period, but they were dragged into it by generals, and I believe it was the same. Chelmsford sort of instigated the war, um, and yeah, by doing so, lost a lot of people, but then also got what he wanted in the end and the glory he wanted. But again, another unnecessary war in the grand scheme of things. Although there was tensions, but they never boiled over. There was the odd skirmish here and there, but nothing too bad until then. You went to Florida willingly and went back again willingly. I love Florida. We tried to move. We've got what's called a green card lottery here, um, and we were never allowed to do it because of both my wife and I we're British by birth, or English by birth. So English weren't allowed to join on the green card lottery. Other countries like Ireland, I think Scotland, and then you got countries like Pakistan and all these other countries. India were exempt; they weren't allowed on there. Um, so I think last year they brought it in where you could go for your green card lottery. So we tried. We were like, yeah, let's do it. We'll put in. You have to put in like your photo of yourself, your occupation and stuff, and we never heard back, or we never got in through the green card lottery system or whatever. So yeah, we wanted to. We love Florida, so we were trying to get out there at one point, but probably won't do it now. Not with, the family growing, and the healthcare system over here is superb compared to pretty much most other places in the world. So that's a big bonus. Going to the hospital is free opposed to paying thousands of dollars each time. Ryan Scale Model World. I want that big 1776 set from Warlord Games, 200 quid, I think it is. Yeah, the sets are so expensive. When I bought my first Rockstrift set, I think it was like £100, £120. And that's when it was like not Perry, Empress and Warlord Games combined together. Now it's and Foreground. Now it's Sarissa, and it's just all Warlord stuff. But yeah, I had to get the old set. This is the old Foreground buildings with the teddy bear fur and stuff. I wanted to get that one because they did a lot more research into the buildings, from what I understand. Warlord also do two special characters for the Warlord for the Rockstrift. I'm not even going to pronounce that. Special characters for Rockstrift. Double Muncie and Brevet Major Henry Spaulding, which might be worth getting as they're very nice models. Are they in the Rockstrift set or in the Horns of the Buffalo set? Or are they just standalone? Thomas, but I have a good friend that lives in Florida and he's going to London so to get away from the heat. That was my biggest problem is the heat. It was so bloody hot. Yeah, that was my only problem. But my missus is a massive fan of Disney World. Not Disney, but the actual theme park, and she likes all the ambience of it. And I think if we were there, this channel wouldn't be models. It would be I would have to be doing a Disney channel with her, like everyone else does. But we're constantly watching the vloggers and stuff doing that sort of stuff. So we've been to Disney World, I think 3 times now, or well, 4 times. I can't remember. Universal Studios in Florida. Then we've been to LA, Disney in LA, Universal Studios in LA, and then we did Disney in Hong Kong recently. So we've got a few more Disneys to tick off. But that's what she likes. I like my history. She likes her Disney. So we've both got expensive hobbies, unfortunately. Wargaming history is put afternoon from a sunny France, painting British Napoleonic. Cheers, Matt. Just don't tell your French neighbours about that. But hey, mate, really glad you're on. Good to see you on here, bud. John's put hi all. Ian's put that's gross, Chris. Ian doesn't like Florida for some reason. Well, I can sort of imagine why, but yes. John Shepherd is put, is it the same as the UK health system or better? It's better. Obviously, because we've got a lot less people. I don't remember the population of Australia. I think it's like in the 20 million mark. It's definitely better. There's like we've got apps on our phone, so if I need to go to emergency, for example, I can look on my phone and see all the hospitals around me, and it gives you an average wait time. All the free ones, you just walk in and you get seen straight away. So most of the time you're probably waiting a couple of hours, depending on the situation, obviously, and how urgent you need to be seen. But no, you don't really struggle for a GP appointment or a dentist appointment. You might have to wait a couple of days, but it's not too bad. And a lot of the times the government will, we've got what's called Medicare, and the government will subsidize a lot of the fees. So it's really, really good. Where am I? Mark's put afternoon from southeast England. Good day, Mark. Thanks for joining. Is it nice weather over there still? Thomas put sucks that foreground is gone. Yeah, it's a shame that nobody picked it up either. You would have thought somebody would have picked it up, unless they have. I haven't seen it. I think they're from one of the largest, so probably the Horn set, but I bought both on eBay separately. I have got all of the figures from the Horn set, so I'll have a look. I didn't know he was on there, because yeah, that would be really cool. I didn't know he was in there. And they look good. I've got I think this is Hook. I think this is Hook, this one. I think he looks really cool. Just the details just not as good as Paul Hicks's work, you can tell, or just the metal that they've used. Yeah, I'm going to paint him up. I'm going to mix the characters and the historical characters in the sets together, especially like just the enlisted, because they're going to act like great figures alongside the Hollywood actors as well. Yeah, where am I? John Spot, yeah, all my folks static grass I used to get was foreground. Oh, I didn't know foreground did static grass. Well, Matt's put 26 mil, including the Kiwis and Islanders working in Oz. There you go. Yeah, all the Kiwis, yeah. So that used to be the thing for those that aren't familiar. If you immigrated to Australia, you used to have to wait 4 years to get your citizenship. But if you went to New Zealand, you could get it in 2 years, and then they have an agreement that if you're a New Zealand citizen, you can move across to Australia. So most people would go to New Zealand for 2 years and then move across to Australia, and then they skip the additional 2 years to get that citizenship. I mean, you're a Kiwi citizen, but you can live in Australia without any problem. I'm not sure if it's changed now. That was how it was when we moved here in 2006. But I'm an Australian citizen. We didn't do that. Although I think New Zealand would have been better for the weather because it's bloody hot here sometimes. Ryan's, but I haven't been on your Discord. Everyone on Napoleonics already. Yeah, so everyone on my Discord at the moment is talking about Napoleonic stuff. We've all agreed that once you hit a certain age, you start looking at Napoleonic stuff. So apologies to all the old buggers that are in the channel with us. But it seems to be the way of the world. You start with World War II, and then the older you get, you move on to British redcoats and French. Mike's, but once I complete my degree, if I come to Oz, it's 33% better paying than here. I didn't know that. What are you studying, if you don't mind? And if you do come here, make sure you come to Perth because I need a good gaming buddy. I've got a couple here, but some of them are too far away. Thomas Chase, but by the way, regarding building painting, Storm Steel has a great interview of Joe Bilton. I'm going to apologize. I don't know who Joe is. I know who Storm of Steel is, obviously. He's a fantastic bloke. But I don't know who Joe is. You have to enlighten me on that one, mate, and I'll have a look at it. Mike, I was gutted when Architect of War went under. They had amazing scenery. I never heard of them either. Okay, that's such a shame if you rate them. I was gutted when... Oh, no, we just read that. I'll send you a pic of them, mate. That's Jamie. Okay, cool. Thanks, mate. Yeah, definitely do that, please. I've got all the horns set. The only thing I didn't get was the dog, the little dog. And when I was... was it Jack the dog? I could be wrong. The terrier? Or it wasn't a terrier, was he? He played such a crucial role. I never would have known it until I listened to... I think it was Redcoat History, or was it the History Chat? One of them was talking about it. Mike's put his heart with a bit of wind, and the channel was like a mill pond. Oh, okay. That's going to be very interesting for you guys. I know you guys are going through some strife with people coming over by boat, so I imagine that's probably not going to be too helpful with the water being still as anything. Mike's put occupational therapy. Ah, yes, we need plenty of those over here. We're all about the sports and all of that, so I think occupational therapists are highly sought after. Oscar's put, good morning. It's evening here, mate. But yes, thank you. Good morning, mate. It's not morning where you are, unless you're in America, right? Maybe somebody had a late night. Some of my Citadel paint nearly went off because of the warm weather. Guys, come on. You're preaching to somebody who lives in Australia. I paint in the 40-degree heat here. I've airbrushed in the heat and that. But no, I can imagine it would do that. I hate when the paint is warm and it dries like within like a second. It's bloody annoying. That's why people use enamels. Mike's put Joe Bilton is a legend. I need to Google who this guy is because maybe I have seen him. Joe Bilton. It's coming up Joe Biden. That's probably not who I want. Professional game master. Creative hundreds of battle maps. Playing D&D. That might not be it. I'm building award-winning scenery. Storm of Steel. Oh, there you go. 3 weeks ago. I will have a look and watch it. I apologize to Joe if he ever watches this live stream, or if somebody reports back to him and says Painting Pans doesn't know who you are. He might not know who I am. So, but I don't do too much with terrain. So if he is a terrain wizard, that's probably why I don't know who he is. But I'm gonna know who he is because it sounds like you guys highly recommend him. John's, but I started with Napoleonics, then went on to World War II, and then on to 40k and Fancy and others. So you went the reverse. You started with the serious stuff and then you've gone back to the 40k and that. Matt's put rebottled 14k d'armes and old Citadel into droppers last week after Mig Paint's summer sale. Oh, so you got a load of bottles to use. That's cool. It's a really good idea, actually. Mike's put, I'll send some pics of Joe's stuff on the Discord. He did a Khan 1944 recently and a little while ago Stalingrad board. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's awesome. If that sounds like he's very talented. I'm really nervous about painting terrain and stuff, so any assistance will be bloody really appreciated. Before you know it, you move from Napoleonics to trades. Yeah, I can picture that. For sure. Thomas Sport, Joe Bilton has come on the scene doing Too Fat Lardy boards at shows. I think he was one of the big contributors at the Arnhem tables, also articles in WSS magazine. All right, I really need to look into this then. Yeah, it's good. I did see the Arnhem board. I think the Two Fat Lardies were showing off using Sabotage 3D's prints. I think, Mikey, you might have shown me those pictures actually. So yeah, I'll definitely look into that then. That's good. Boltsauce put the train's always good. He has some HO models on national railways. Ryan's put it's only like 20 degrees long. Oscar's put no, but vacation time is over, so it's back to sleep Sunday afternoon to be able to work nights. Bloody hate when that happens. But it looks like you had a great vacation, mate. Some of those photos you put on Discord were nice. Did the rest of the family enjoy the vacation? More Matt's put myself, the Joe Bolton Arnhem table along with Alan Cow at Partisan last year. Oh, so you were there as well, Matt. He runs Hertz of Lard. Lardy Games Day was fantastic. That Al Cow table of Oosterbeek is stunning. Yeah, that Oosterbeek table is great. I think that was great. I'm using that for inspiration for sure. Bolt Sauce, but how do I get on your Discord? You have to be a tier 2 or up. So tier 2, tier 1 now. So $2 a month, $5 a month, or a Panzer Ace to join Discord, mate. So if you sign up to the membership program, I send you a link when I see that you've signed up. It's not automatic, unfortunately. I don't know how I set it up automatically. But yeah, that's how you get on Discord if you're interested. John's put, I'm from northeast of England. It has been pretty hot recently. I ended up melting the glue from my phone mount on my car dashboard. I think I need to find heat-resistant 3mm sticky pads. Yeah, so I had a lot of problems here when it was getting in the peak of summer. We were getting like 40-degree days. And I didn't put a sunshade over my car window, and it's pretty much killed my head-up display on my Mazda. So just from the heat. So use a sunshade. That would be my biggest advice. It is amazing how much heat that deflects, and it won't kill your Mazdas. Wargaming History Sport. Joe and Alcow are over on the Wargamers forum, which is predominantly 20mm though. I just don't have the time for forum. Well, I haven't had the time, but I really should get on there. They just don't make uploading photos easy. You need to use like Photo Bucket or something like that, right? You can't just upload straight from your phone, which is what annoys me with those types of forums. That's why I don't use them as much. Oscar Sport, it was 5 weeks that went too fast for his vacation, but now he's painting Numidian archers. 70 down, only 8.5k to go, or 8,500 to go. Yeah, that's going to be a very fun experience for you. Hearts of Lard Games Day. Okay, so that's in relation to the Oosterbeek board, I believe. Al Shepherd, out brackets Al Cow, scratch builds are top tier. He's sold a load of Zulu War stuff a while ago. I missed out. I was poor. I was a poor supermarket worker at the time. I need to look up all these characters. I've never heard of them all. To be honest, this shows you how I'm not really in the scene. I'm in my own little bubble doing my own thing. Yeah, you guys, I really appreciate all the info and speaking to these and enlightening me with all of these guys, because there is some true wizards out there when it comes to making stuff and painting stuff. I really envy the people that can do like the houses with the front gardens and the back gardens and all of that. That's what I want to try and do, but I get nervous. I don't feel like I'm going to be any good at it. Because I've used like static grass. I've got a static grass applicator, and when I just base a model with purely all just the same static grass all over the base, it looks terrible. So I don't know how they make fields and that look so good. Yeah. Ryan's put he's going to start the Waterloo campaign for Napoleonics. Oh, you're going to be there for a while as well, mate. Mike has said he's going to put a load of pics up on our Discord, the exclusive Discord, which is awesome. I can't wait to see those. And Matt put that he uses his blog, Kampf Group Willow, to store my pics and link to forums. I didn't know you had a blog, mate. I will favorite that one. I'll Google that now. There you are. A rapid fire related game on the table last week. There we go. So I'll favorite that one. Oh, that's a nice looking anti-aircraft truck you've got there. I don't know what it looks like, a Eastern Pack sort of anti-aircraft gun. It looks bloody awesome though. Top work there with the airbrush. Yes, all right. I favorited that one, so I'll definitely be using that. Mikey's also just bookmarked it, which is good. Jamie's also doing Waterloo by the sounds of things. There's not so much love for the Crimea War, perhaps. I think that would be pretty interesting to do. Yeah, it's there's so much. When I was looking at other war games, when I was looking at Perry's website, I'm like, oh, there's so many other cool things you could do, like the Frontier War, and I was thinking like all the little like what do they call those? All the uprisings in India. What was it called? See, my brain's not working today. But yeah, anyway, there's so much to do. All those, it's such a fascinating period. I'm just going to go down a rabbit hole because I'm just going to end up buying too much stuff. What about the invasion of Russia? That'd be a very cool one to do. French and Russians. If you're talking about the Napoleonic era, that is. Competition model for Monson show last year. Oh, bloody hell, that's a great model. I've got it up still here. I love the airbrush work. Very nice. And I love the green hue to it as well. It's got like a green hue to it. I think it looks really good. You've done a top job there, mate. John's put, yeah, you need to have a mix of colors and sizes when you use static grass, otherwise it looks too fake and crap and build it up in layers. Yeah, but then it sticks on top. I suppose what you mean by layers is you do a little patch and then you do another little patch somewhere else and pat. Yeah, I need to. There's got to be videos out there that I can learn a bit from. Put French Indian also sounds like it could be fun. Anglo-Afghan War, says Mikey. Yeah, there's a couple of good options. I was thinking about another one. Yeah. What about the one in China where all of those countries, it was like, wasn't it like the Brits, the Americans, the Japanese, I can't remember who else, against the Chinese at the embassy, at their embassies. I can't remember where that was now. Was it Shanghai? No, it wasn't Shanghai. I can't remember. But that'd be pretty interesting. There'd be so many things, different nations and stuff you could paint. When it comes to basing, do layers and it will look more natural. I put down a sprinkle of mixture of fine or coarse flock material, then put grass down. I use the dropping method, then tufts. Okay, yeah, that sounds like the way to do it. I only use tufts and it seems to work okay, especially to shades. Yeah, I've gone off doing static grass on my models now. I only use tufts. So yeah, I agree with you on that one. Oh, hang on. Just noticed something. Oh no, it's just the light reflecting off it. Thought I made a mistake there. Boxer Rebellion, that's the one. Thank you, Mikey. Mark's put to Jamie, those Zulus you put on Facebook the other day are cracking. He has done an amazing job with those Zulus. And his Brits. If you haven't seen his Brits yet, ooh, they look good. As well as the Natal native contingent. Oh, fine work. And some of his custom stuff. He said he wasn't a wizard with green stuff, but I think he's done pretty bloody good with some of those custom models you've done there, Jamie. Just but no, you spray the grass you've just done with a layering spray, then apply another coat of grass onto it. Have a look at Luke doing it with layering spray. Okay, all right, check that out. Cheers, 172. Also, that's no problem. I was in your school. I would not have said that's a 172 vehicle, mate. Wow. Top work. That's a really good job. Really good job. Thank you, Mark. There's loads more to come yet. I believe you're all talking about the pecking legations. I'm not exactly sure what that's in reference to, you know. Oh, peaking, not pecking. What the hell am I going on? That's what you're talking about. Okay, yes. That's exactly what. That's right. How embarrassing is that? Oh my god. Peaking New South Wales Naval Infantry there also. What? Really? I did not know that. That's crazy. Christian, when it comes to wargaming, do you all like historical accuracy? I think we had this in a stream a couple of streams ago. I think the main consensus is yes. For me personally, yes. I try and be as accurate as I can be, but I'm no historian, so I do get things wrong, and people will like to correct me, which is fine. I take it. I like to know where I've painted stuff wrong, so I try and go historically accurate, but sometimes I just assume that I know and it's wrong, or I look at the wrong reference material. Perhaps the what I'm looking at is a reproduction, or it's just of a box art and it's completely wrong. My Italians are a really good example of that. My Italians are terribly poor in terms of the way they've been painted and for their historical accuracy. So yes, I need to do a new Italian tutorial. James put, thanks, mate. I'm slowly getting to grips with sculpting. Yeah, it's a bloody art, isn't it? I don't know how they do it, like poor Hicks and all that. Enough at Mikey's saying about how great Jamie's stuff is at Little Lancers. If you haven't seen Little Lancers' page, you can find him on Facebook, Instagram. Yeah, well worth checking out. He loves to paint the 20mm stuff, but more of the niche stuff and the 20mm front. So he's not painting too much World War II stuff. It's mainly Victorian era and now obviously Napoleonics. But he also paints some Warhammer. We've seen that as well with his Bretonians on there. Little Lance, but historic accuracy is an absolute nightmare with Napoleonics. Is a real headache. Yes, I wouldn't fancy painting a load of Scottish with their kilts on in 20mm. That wouldn't be a fun time either. Like Panthers in the Desert, like the FX box art, yes, or like a King Tiger in Panzer Grey. Like that's not for me, but I've seen some people enjoy it and they like to do it. You know, it's whatever you. At the end of the day, they're your models. You paint them how you want. If people don't take constructive criticism as a bad thing, because I when people tell me I've done something wrong, okay, that's fine, thank you. But be prepared. There are some assholes out there that will, just because you've painted something a certain way, they'll say something, some smart ass remark or whatever, and just expect that if you're not painting historically accurately. So, for example, you're painting a King Tiger in Panzer Grey, or you're painting a Panther in African scheme. You might like that. You might think that's cool. And you might post on socials and you would get those keyboard warriors that like to belittle people because they didn't do it exactly how it should be done. But yeah, and just do it however you want to do. Who cares really, right? As long as you're happy. Oscar's put, same with painting ancient, there's just so much stuff we don't know. I completely agree. Yeah, you just got to make some of it up as you go. Ryan agrees with Oscar. Like my DAF M39s in K&L colours, I really struggled with the K&IL. I was painting them. I don't think they're even remotely accurate, but I tried to get that green. I have no idea what color green that uniform is. It's like a bright green but dark at the same time. It's such an unusual color green. Ryan's also using Greek hoplites as an example. Mikey Sport, right, I'm heading off now. Got to sort the dinner out. Great stream, Chris and chat. Have a great weekend. Oh, cheers, mate. I look forward to seeing your photos in Discord and have a lovely, lovely dinner. Make sure you put your dinner in the food group on Discord. That's been a bit quiet. Although I didn't put mine on today. It was a lovely roast dinner my wife cooked. Oscar's book, we had a Flames of War campaign in V2. One of the players outright refused to play with a guy playing American since he painted Sherman's blue metallic. I mean, look, I might look at it and be like, what on earth has that guy painted it for? But I'm not going to voice it out and I'm not going to treat him any differently. I'll just be thinking, why on earth would you paint him that way? But they might have a reason to do it. I'm not going to play. It's a little bit different if you say, we're going to be having a recreation of Normandy. So you're playing the British and I'm playing the Germans and you're playing the Americans and somebody else is playing the Canadians or whatever. And somebody rocks up with pink Shermans. That I would be a bit more like, no, we want to take photos. We want to play this a little bit more seriously. That's probably not the right place to do it. But if it's just a friendly game, who cares, right? You paint them how you want to paint them. Just, but I heard that they run out of German yellow, so they painted late war German tanks in Panzer grey with only a splash of yellow to make it go further. That could be very well true. I know they also left them in their red primer a lot of the time as well. My wife wants to paint Russian army for bolt action in pink. Thinking about massed battle US Cav versus Comanche in either 50mm, 20mm. Thinking about paying a digital score to make STO and Kickstarter. Need to complete the Chateau this year, though. That'll be awesome. Very interested to see what you do with that. Ryan's pretty hates Keeper Warriors, or just sent them out as well with the Red Ox primer. That's what we're just mentioning. What I just mentioned, actually. So yeah, it's good to know that I'm on the right track there. Little answers, but I suppose if you're trying to be as historically accurate as possible, is a good thing as it makes you research the history. After all, we're all historians when it comes down to it. Exactly, and we've all got our little niches. Like I know a lot more about certain bits of World War II than others, and I still don't know a lot, but I'm a bit more confident. Once I painted a panther tank in pink to have a pink panther, that's the great way of doing it, Baltazar. And he's, but I feel like unless you're providing the models, you don't get a say in how someone painted what they spent their money on. Exactly, right? I think as historical war game painters, we expect people to at least give it a go, to try and paint a German late war Stug in a three-tone camouflage, not rock up with a pink tank. Because this isn't Warhammer, this isn't a fantasy, this is historical wargaming. However, if somebody comes with a Stug in Panzer Grey or whatever, whatever color, but it has a historical element to it, I think you'd be like, whatever, that's fine, that's cool, you've given it a go. When you see like full armies all painted in pink, you go, yeah, that's cool, it's a little niche thing, that's funny, but it's not historical. So, I don't care because I haven't paid for it. I'm not painting it. But if you're going to do like a themed battle, for example, you'd be pretty annoyed if somebody rocked up with a pink army and you're saying, I thought you were going to bring a British army to recreate Normandy. Instead, you brought the Pink Panther. So, yeah. I suppose that's where people would get annoyed. But if you're just doing it for home, for social media and stuff, who cares? Put it on there. It looks, sometimes they're quite funny. And what at the end? I get out. Yeah. Tournament I went a few months ago, I played against Russia and playing like the like games. Now that's pretty funny and really well done. All right, guys, I'm going to end it here. I've got a really early start tomorrow. I've already should have been in bed an hour ago. I'm looking at my wrist as if I've got a watch on. I don't have a watch. I'm looking at my computer anyway. So yeah, I really appreciate you all joining in on the stream and getting involved. It's good to be back. It's a 2 week break for me. So yeah, hopefully we'll see you all again next week. So I really appreciate you all joining. Thanks again, and I'll speak to you all very, very soon. Thank you. Hey Scott, thanks for joining. I'm just talking about your Zulu stuff you sent me. I really appreciate it, mate. Thank you so much for bringing it over for me. Now I need to work out how the hell I turn this off. I do this every time. Is it this one? There we go. All right, goodbye, guys.